Okay, so green, black, self-mill. We've got a few different payoffs for self-milling. We've got Willow Geist here, which seems like a pretty powerful card if you can enable it right. Whenever one or more cards leaves your graveyard, put a 1/1 counter on Willow Geist. When it dies, you gain life equal to its power. Death Bonnet Sprout flips over into a 3/3 that then slowly grows. And then this is something that enables this. Our cheap flashback cards can enable Willow Geist. Moss Pit Skeleton. When 1/1 counters are put on things you control, you get to put this on top of your library, so that enables more counters on this. We've got some self-mill things that also put things back to our hand. And we got Old Stickfingers, which mills stuff and then gets bigger based on what we've milled here. So the big question in my mind is, one, is this deck powerful enough to have a reasonable game plan when we have our cheap 1-drops on 1? And then 2, can our deck kind of limp along and be remotely competitive when we don't have our good 1-drops on 1, or are our opponents able to remove them? So we're probably going to be throwing back most 7s that don't have our Willow Geist in it, because the idea is to execute Willow Geist very quickly. And hey, look at this. Love it. I think we lead on Death Bonnet, actually, so we can get the milling going on this. Hey, thanks for the 16 months, Nocti. Welcome back. This is a tapped Eggdoms game, and then next turn, we'll get to Old Stick for X's 2, which will let us flip this the following turn, and then this will start working with this. So we've got the Willow Geist going here, but we don't really have a great enabler for it just yet. We are firmly back into the percentages where we belong after brewing some more. Yeah, Stickfingers is on my list of things that I want to try in Brawl at some point. Because you could, like, build a deck with a bunch of reanimate spells where you only have bomb creatures in your deck, and you play this as your commander and guarantee mill a bomb or two. Seems sweet. Sweet build around. Well, so you should read the card, Mommy Makeout Summer. Stickfingers doesn't mill everything, it only mills the creatures. Oh gosh, yeah, and this is still... This doesn't even start working yet. Yikes. Hey, well, I have a Wrenn and Seven to make a 5/5, I guess, but...
The entire forest is an army.
Yeah, so far it feels like we got our stuff together here, and it's just like not really doing much. This doesn't really kill anything meaningful. Willow Geist is gonna finally be a 3/3. And like the thing with a card like Willow Geist is, right, like this card, in order for this card to be remotely playable, we really need it to be a 4/4, 5/5, 6/6 very quickly. Because if it's not bigger than a 3/3, you might as well have just been registering the Watchwolf, right? The Werewolf Pack leader. Hey, this game is very over. Skyclave Shade does not seem like a great attacker here. Wrenn and Seven. Strixhaven the first time command cards were sorcery speed. It was, yeah. All of the prior 2-color commands were instant speed. Ain't. So this on 2 technically grows this, right? If we pick a land up. I'm all alone. There's no one here beside me. Do 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 do. Okay, so like this is, we still get to like, we're gonna get to a 4/4 on turn 3, right? We bricked off pretty badly here, and we're still gonna kind of get there. So this flashes back, it shuffles, and it goes. So we had a 4/4 at least. Draw is bad, hand is sucky, always second, never lucky. Yeah, flashback leaves the yard too. So this seems like a really sweet enabler. Like, this was a relatively strong thing to be doing. Like, if we hadn't bricked on the command, this would have been a 5/5 right now, right? Honestly, I'm gonna cut the Eggdoms after this. I'm just gonna play 4 Hive of the Eye Tyrant as our utility land. Because if that Eggdoms had been a regular land, we'd have hit there. And if our plan is to do that on 2 to try and grow the Willow Geist, that's better. Now the problem is we don't have... Oh my god, Trespasser pumps Geist. That's so true. Alright, let's fix this shit up. Trespasser is so good. Trespasser's like a playable magic card that does what we want to do. That's the key, chat. You want your synergy deck to have as many individually playable cards in it as possible. Yeah, Trespasser's great. I've been putting Trespasser in, like, real Magic decks and, like, just fair mid-range decks. Yeah. Graveyard Trespasser. When it enters the battlefield or attacks, exile a card from a graveyard. If a creature is exiled this way, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain a life. Yeah, that's great. Is Crawl from the Cellar better than Rotten Reunion? Oh yeah, I want to cut Eggdoms. Good call. I think I like Rotten Reunion. Cause like this, like we're trying to be like this aggro beatdown deck, right? Yeah, I think I'm into that. Like this kind of does 4 damage on the right board, right? So you'll exile a card, you'll get a counter, you'll flash it back, you'll get 2 counters. Yeah, and you can remove from your own graveyard when you do it. What are the other self-mill cards in this format? So there's Egon. There are self-mill cards that cost 1, 2, and 3. Ludevic's Demir. You did say we could add a color, Andy. King Nefari and Ludevic are like both kind of okay cards. Mill 3, Return Snow, that's not good. We could try this. I kind of think I want to try... I kind of think I want to try 2 colors here, but this is something we could definitely try. Like, what are the... Oh gosh, Crab is still legal. Oh, this is only opponents though. Sorry, I'm used to the other one where you can mill yourself. Yeah, most of these blue cards only mill your opponents, huh? All right, let's look at this. This is 23 lands. So I need to cut Need to cut some amount of things. Counters are put on your thing. This goes to the top of your deck. Is that good enough? This is probably enough attacking our own graveyard. Show my Skyclave Shade and honestly, Egon seems pretty good. I feel like I want slightly more enablers. Let's try this. We're gonna play for like, you know, another hour or so. So let's just make a couple of changes, play some games, make a couple of changes, play some games. Iterate and repeat. Think we keep this. A mopey-ish start. We've got, you know, this into this. Give them some beatdowns. Thanks for the 6 months, Indie Arc. What a tilter. Dude. I don't know what Slogurk does. Creature. Come on, hit a creature. Wait, isn't that 3? Oh no, that was the command. JKLL. They killed our friend, chat. I haven't heard in a long time. Let's try and draw an untapped green here to play Sprout out after. Gosh, we are really bad at milling lands, chat. Like, incredibly bad. All right, you know what? A tapped land is better than bricking. We take those here. We take those here, chat. We get to put quite a bit of power into play next turn. We have Egon, God of Death, alongside the Death Bonnet Sprout. Yeah, duress these. Although, honestly, with this land draw, it feels like a chance they have sweepers. I'm just going to fire up the Hive of the Eye Tyrant and correct them for 9. But we definitely have 8 cards in our deck, in our graveyard for them. Wow, Scavenger's rough. pumps the brakes on us real hard. Oh, super punished for not playing Egon out. Brutal. Yeah, I think we're dead. We can't race these Nighthawks. Crippling Fear should have been on my radar. Don't seem particularly exciting. Some power word kills to kill their stuff. Do I want to go as big as Wrenn here? Probably not. Not when we're on the play. No, you're fine, Andy. I've spent years training for moments like this. Spending time losing with bad decks is what we do here. Tangle is basically removal. Yeah, kinda. Come on, hit me. Sure. Yeah, we don't get to flashback the Rat Reunion, unfortunately. Again, Willow Geist in play here with no way to enable it, just being a 1/1 for 1 in an awkward manner. Oh, I messed up. They put a card in their bin. I could have played this. I should have played this other Willow Geist out pre-combat, so if they blocked my 1/1, I could trade. Hey, that's awesome, Saul. Okay, so we get to Rotten Reunion their card at end of turn. And then if we draw an untapped land, we get to Graveyard Trespasser, grow these up to 3/3s. Ah, yes, the classic Withered Runestone Siphon Insight deck. Just good deck building, chat. Does anything say peak Magic the Gathering more than hoping to draw a land and having your deck immediately Okay, so we're gonna decline this because I need to draw an untapped land. I mean, this is currently a 1/1, right? So I just play it out. Man, if we'd have hit for this, we'd have gotten to exile something and then put Moss Skeleton on top of our deck. God, fuck this card, chat. That's really frustrating, because if we would have gotten to play this, our Willows would have been 4/4s. And I don't think there's anything we can do now, just Magic Cap it in. Let's try again. Some pretty bad bits of variance there. Yeah, sometimes you get magic. That was nothing on the deck we were trying. It does kind of feel like we're still light on good ways to mill ourselves. So splashing into blue's probably worth exploring. Can you use Sundial the Infinite to keep decayed tokens? Yes. Yeah, blue splash is something we're definitely going to explore. There's a reasonable shelf for this in Historic, and Tiamat calls it. Let me answer your question with a question. Do you think Historic right now is conducive to playing individually weak cards that are trying to lean on synergies to be competitive? I mean, there's more than memory lapse decks in Historic. It's just if you're not playing a memory lapse deck, you need to be doing something pretty linear and powerful. Maybe if I wish really hard. Yep, maybe. Maybe. We are actually incapable of milling a land. Just can't do it, fam. Can't do it. At least these straight here. Maybe I'm supposed to play Death Bonnet Sprout to get milling. I kind of want a Rotten Reunion, though. Thanks for the 15 months, Peel. Welcome back. It's a pretty mediocre showdown. Well, I will say, being really lucky is definitely better than being unlucky. Maybe I should have just played a 5/5 here instead of playing the Death Bounce Sprout. Why did I pick blue-red? Once upon a time, I had a fancy tool that let me change the color of my border to match the deck that I was playing. But when I moved from streaming on Linux to streaming on Windows, my custom tool didn't work because PySide doesn't compile on Windows 10 anymore. Let me do this actually. Alright, so we can Rotting Reunion, exile Death Bonnet Sprout, which is going to put a counter on this, which lets us take action to put another counter on it when the skeleton flips up top. And this exiles and puts another counter on this. It's unfortunate we're out of... Oh, we're not completely out of cards in our graveyard yet. Game really close. Their life linker that's getting huge is probably gonna spell doom for us. They also have a portable hole in exile here, but does Ubuntu on Windows run GUI applications? I'm actually not familiar. Oh yeah, we're just dead here, right? They portable hole and kill this. Yeah. Okay. Does allow it these days. Neat. Neat. Trespassers definitely felt good. Yeah, Shade doesn't seem particularly good. I think I want to try shoehorning in the blue self-mill cards. I think that'll be one of the cards we get rid of to try and fit those in. I think we bottom the gods here. Keep the rest of these. Is this the deck where Otherworldly Gaze or whatever it's called is playable? Where you get to mill 3 if you want, and then it flashes back for 2? Is this finally the deck where that card might be playable? I mean, if there was ever a pile of cards where that card might be playable, this is it. The fact, if this card gave -2/-2, it would be so much better. Let's start by attacking, because if they block, we'll trade 2 for 1 here. We're splashing blue simply for the fact that I want to cut all of these cards that mill. I am so bad at milling lands, chat. We're done playing cards that need to mill lands. I'm off it. Roger Dodger over and out. Carib, thanks for the 31 months. Welcome back. I'd like my stick fingers back, please. They're my stick fingers and I want them now. Well, shoot. We're dead. All right, let's try and splash blue and see if we can shore up. This went even worse than I expected. I really do win games. I believe you. This has also been my experience with Golgari Compost. Listen, chat, we're just going to mix some blue in here, okay? Listen, I've had people asking me to play Otherworldly Gaze since it was spoiled. Let's do it. Oh, it technically doesn't say mill, right? We gotta moisten, we gotta spritz the little nice on it. We need to moisturize it. Moisturize the compost, chat. This mills the opponent. So I want Ludevic. I want King Nefari's Betrayal. Let's put the... I like the Skyclave Shades to the board suggestion. Slogric. The Slime Overlord. Okay, so this is who Twitch chat works for. Now, land is put into your graveyard from anywhere. Put one counter on it. Remove 3 counters from it. Return it to its hand. Return 3 target lands from your graveyard. Remove 3 counters. Return it to its hand. Cute. Although, we did just establish that I'm incapable of milling land, so maybe this is a bad idea. Maybe it's a bad idea, chat. Now, why would I want to play this card? I'm not ramping to anything. Mill, just gotta mill harder. Harder, better, faster, stronger. More than every hour after hour. Mill is never over. $67 cards, ship it. I'm gonna trim a couple of those. Maybe we'll only play 3 Sticky Fingers. Enters battlefield attacks, mill a card. This is actually kind of okay. It could become Willow Geist out of the graveyard too. It's kind of guess. I'm not convinced the slime is good. I'm only gonna play 1. I like Stickfingers more than the slime. We're really bad at milling lands, fam. Oh, we only get one of the nice tools. That's sad. I don't know what Hermit does. Oh, Malevolent Hermit. Oh shit. This is just a good card, right? We should play Malevolent Hermit. We put it in the yard and then like you do it to do the thing. All right, I'm gonna do the controversial. I'm gonna cut the slime. Sorry, chat. I found a playable card. I found a playable card. Are there any other playable disturb cards? No. Got it. There are 35 lands in my deck. Let's remedy that. Okay, so let's look at our colors. This is 14 black, and it's 12 blue, and it's 10 green. And I think we just put some basics in, right? This is 12, 14 blue, and then probably like a forest or two. How many lands is this total? Only be 22 lands. Did like an island and 2 forests and could have spelled. This is 12, 14 green. It's 14, 15 blue. Do I want more blue mana than green mana? Is a question. Alright, sorry, Stickfingers. One of you's gotta go. Yes, if there's a Snarl, there is not an untapped. Yeah, to keep Hermit up, we want double blue on occasion. That makes sense. We put counterspells so right, counterspells in the main. Alright, let's try this. Yeah, I don't know that Moss Pit. Moss Pit Skeleton might need to go. We're slowly narrowing the number of cards that are unplayable in here. Slow and steady. Accurate deck name. We do always aim for accuracy here. That is our goal. Hey. Okay. Real gamer hours, chat. Oh, look at that. It drew a card when it came into play. That's just good deck building, chat. They flipped their Delver on the first try. Wait, that's cheating. Ooh, blue-white Magecraft. That's exciting. Alright, let's exile their flashback spell here. It's a spicy meatball. We don't have any interaction here, so I bet we're gonna die. Their hand's anywhere close to reasonable. I like this idea. This is something we should play with at some point. Blue-white Magecraft. Delver's an excellent threat into here. Puppet Stitcher. This with the Kate token seems pretty okay too. Alright, so we're taking 10 here. Yeah, you could play Clarion Spirit for other tokens. Like it. Alright. Power word kill sounds great. Oh, this is quite good enough. Kills Delver for a very small window. I'm going to rate Magecraft down. That sounds great. I'm going to put that in the queue. That one's going in the queue. Oh, Tangle kills Delver is a good thought. This is good enough. It needs a green source, obviously, but like we play Magic even without a green source here. Oh, it would kill Clever Lumimancer too. Okay, if we have a game 3, I'll bring in the commands. Nice, nailed it. Never didn't have it. Easy game, easy life. It's our cumulative variance from earlier coming through. Exactly. Homestead Courage seems very sweet in their deck. It's like a little bit of a pump. Triggers your stuff twice. Now, unfortunately, I can't Graveyard Trespasser myself this turn because I need to get rid of their Homestead Courage, but next turn, mayhaps. Yeah, this card's super playable. Very, I've played this, I've put this in a few things. It's been reasonable on all of them. Put any number of them into my graveyard. Do I want to land next turn? I don't think I do. Oh, I guess if I draw the land, I can Nefari's Betrayal, flashback, Otherworldly Gaze. Okay, leave the land on top. Oh, I could also just Hermit into play, right? Yeah, I kind of like this. Probably gonna jump with this next turn. Oh, I should have flashed this back to deal extra damage there. This is pretty sweet. We didn't have Geist on 1, and we're still, like, playing a pretty reasonable game of Magic here. We could die here. If they have a way, like, something like tap stuff. They have another spell is lethal then. That's sad. Oh, close game. They're a little bit too clunky there at the end. Yeah, the opponent's build is sweet. We're gonna have to try something like that later this week. Focus group, thanks for the follow. What if we just continue cutting the bad cards and putting kind of okay cards in here? Is Death Bonnet Sprout actually good? So like these are like the super suspect cards, right? Is this the best? Like I kind of just want to like make this do things, right? Are there other? Yeah, you're not a fan of Sprout. I agree. What are other creatures that just kind of slot into what this deck is doing? Honestly, the Skyclave Shades are probably okay in the main deck with the more mill that we have. Like this, and this kind of make the Skyclave Shade better. We just play a couple of main deck interactions. Oh, Command takes stuff out of our yard. Shuffles 3 cards, up to 3 cards. It does, doesn't it? And it's like a little bit of a tempo, and it can counterspell. I'm kind of into that. Tapping. Someone else said that one earlier. What does that do? This is just super slow and clunky. Yeah, command sounds great. I like Command a lot. Hermit actually makes Stickfingers better too, because Stickfingers is likely to mill this. Masked Vandal on the side. I don't like that. It's an enabler that's also an answer. And honestly, I think I'm into power word kill. I'm just going to put 4 power word kills on the sideboard. The 5 mana not Tarmogoyf is pretty medium. I actually think Root Coil Creeper is like a pretty good card. And we're just not ramping in this deck, so like we wouldn't really be utilizing it would be the problem. It is a touch awkward that we can't like Geist on 1 into this on 2. Honestly, the way this hand works out, I think I'd rather tapped on one so I could do this on two. So we can get our mills going. Rewarded for holding the forest. Ebon Death. Yeah, Ebon Death kind of fits the category of this card's kind of playable and it enables Willow Geist. I don't hate that. Is Goyf too strong for Historic? I think a better question is Goyf playable and worth adding to Historic? I think there's a good chance that it's not. Okay, and then we'll attack with Ludevic this turn. Then we'll go Geist plus Hermit. And then next turn we can start doing Betrayal. Yeah, there's no fetch lands in Historic, chat. A big part of why Goyf is playable it's not playable anymore, was playable in Modern was because of fetch lands. The flipped Ludevic art is very creepy. You're not wrong. Yes, reminiscing about Tarmogoyf in 2021 is big boomer energy. Is that a baby girl I hear? Hi, baby girl. You came to visit? It's been a while since this stream seen baby girl. Can you say hi? Good waving. Twitch chat doesn't deserve your waves, but they can have them. Can you say hi? You're a cutie. Hi, good job waving, baby girl. It looks like the RTX doesn't cut her voice anymore in the latest updates. That's great. You may not have my water, Tiny Plague Rat. Thank you.
What do you want to do?
All right, so I think we're just Graveyard Trespassing here. We'll target our own yard, get Willow Geist bigger. We told up Malevolent Hermit. I'm not really sure what her or what their plan is over here. I'm just doing a whole lot of nothing while they play green lands. What if they're missing a color? Bye bye. Bye bye, baby girl. Love you. They're ramping into Chariot. Hopefully. Got Hermit in play. Do I just assume they're on mono green? I think we just assume they're on mono green, right? And like board in like some Masked Vandals and some power word kills. Trim around the edges here a little bit. I think they were just mono green and I kept a medium hand. Ooh, that's a good shout from Civilized Scholar. Malakir Rebirth works with Works with our Geist. Yeah. That could be worth trying out too. I think we just get Trespasser going. So that way if they want to flip it tonight, we get a bonus from it too. I think I'm happy with that trade. All their stuff potentially having haste is really scary. Little sad on our mana here. Can't Geist and Masked Vandal in the same turn, but definitely have to kill this Chariot. All right, here's my 7/7. Your move, Yugi boy. Thunk.
I can feel the yearning of the wild more intense. I must resist its call.
Haley is 16 months? 17, 15 months? It's June, or September. She's born in June. 15 months. Almost 16.
They're close.
Man, that was a bad draw for us. Well, they're still only attacking with these. Okay. The fact that Willow Geist gained his life when it died there was sweet. Just gonna like run back this line every turn here. Howdy, Zach. I'll do it again, I swear.
Wait for the perfect moment to strike.
Are we getting Ember Cleaved? I think we're supposed to block all of these because they can play things at instant speed. And this attack feels like they might have the whenever a wolf deals damage, you draw a card. And that's why they're shipping with everything, because they don't think I'll block too much and they'll convert to drawing cards. No? Okay, interesting. They must have a blocker to keep Arlen alive, right? Wild. All right.
Woods.
Yeah, we have mana to turn Ludevic into a thing. Rats. Never lucky. Yeah, Wrenn and Seven's definitely one of their better draws here.
Dreams of gold move the trees. They prepare for war.
Your tree folk ain't got nothing on old Stickfingers here. Gosh, we're so close to this being able to attack into this tree folk. I can make it a 5/5. That's not quite enough to punch in. That's fine. I think we're still pretty far ahead, right? Honestly, this game was like kind of sweet, huh? It feels like the blue cards really did an excellent set of upgrades to this archetype.
We will help you find safe ground.
Yeah, Hermit's just a good card, right? Book of Exalted Deeds was only banned in standard best of 1. What if I do this and trade with this, huh? Because this will be a 5 and this will be a 3. We're gonna exile 2 cards from our graveyard. So flashback triggers these ones, exiling a card triggers them again. Trade your 7/7 for my 5/5. Eat. Let's do another. I like where we've kind of hit on. Yeah, that was awesome. The first game didn't really amount to much. Their opponent just didn't really do anything. But that second game, they just like, they played Magic and we played Magic, and our deck was actually pretty strong. Gosh, our lands are awkward. Oh. Vineglimmer on one. Maybe we need to go down a Snarl and go up one more forest. Not unreasonable. They're really bad. It really, like, these, and it's extra sex, like, these lands are terrible, and these lands are really good, which makes these feel even more terrible. Honestly, I feel like I'm not that far off from every blue deck, just starting with 4 Hermits in this format. Anybody else with me on that 4 Hermit lifestyle? I mean, no joke, the 3 color combinations that have 2 Innistrad lands are at an advantage. I'm gonna make a note. Top. Okay, if I'm gonna make a top X cards to craft from Innistrad, what should X be? Because that's a question people ask all the time, and I don't like answering it early, but I feel like I've played the format enough at this point to have a good beat on that. Five to 10? I've done top 5s in the past. Maybe I'll do like top 5 mythics, top 5 rares. We'll do non-lands, chat. We'll mention at the start of the video that obviously lands are the best choice. And then we'll list non-lands. Well, the point of a safe crafts lift Swift isn't just listing cards that are fun and sweet. It's these are cards that are likely to see play in a variety of decks, so if you spend wild cards on them, you're likely to see a return, basically. Biz, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. It's been great, Panza. Our open over the weekend was easily the best open event we've ever hosted. Nah, just from the new set. I'm gonna assume people have cards from the older sets. They're like trying to figure out what kind of combat tricks. I love Quandrix Command for boards like this, where people are like trying to figure out, oh god, what kind of combat tricks could he have here, and how should they block? Okay, so these blocks are actually pretty good. No, wait, no, they're fine for us, right? So we go Quandrix Command, 2 counters, and then okay, so we put 2 counters here. And then we target me, and we shuffle this back into my deck, which puts this to a 2/2. So we eat this trade here. It makes Stickfingers a little smaller, but that's fine. It gets bigger again when this dies. Love it. Love it. Yeah, I think this card's great, BT Dubs chat. If you haven't seen this card, you don't remember what it does, this counters Chariot, and it bounces Wrenn and Seven tokens. It's very, very sweet. You literally can't print cards into Historic to fix problems with the format. It's just not possible, I don't think. I think I'm willing to trade Hermit for Witch here. That's basically what I'm doing. What about Vial? Vial would help, but I don't think it would change anything fundamentally. Chat, Memory Lapse and Lightning Helix and Wrath of God are like all really strong, really good cards. I'm gonna attack for 3 and bring the Hermit back. I'm not gazing to try and make this bigger, because I might want to Quandrix Command this turn if they have another Can't Stay Away to counter it. Yes, Prismari Command and Archmage's Charm are main deck answers these decks already play that deal with Aether Vial. It's a critical mass thing. You can't just undo the critical mass. No good graveyard hate. There's actually a ton of really good incidental graveyard hate in this format. We have the Wolf in this deck, plus Quandrix Command. There's lots of things like, there aren't a ton of good, like, nuke the entire graveyard things, but there's a lot of, like, incidental exile a card here, exile a card there. Faz and Deserting Men, thanks for the follows. Ganja Sensei, thanks for the 32 months. Welcome back. Yeah, let's see if we can get Stickfingers a little bit bigger here, huh? I think I'm gonna chill on this. I don't have a Geist in play right now, and I want to draw this card. Let's go to my turn. I think a Pithing Needle. I think it's not good enough. Not even a little. Honestly, Graveyard Trespasser is probably absurd here, huh? I guess this one tramples, which is nice against Sedgemoor Witch. I'm gonna take the Trampler. Oh my god! I have to click on their... That interface is so fucking terrible. Well, I just assumed after I picked one from my graveyard it was gonna flip over to show me their graveyard. Oh, no, so I know it's both graveyards. I just assumed the interface was going to offer me the option to look at their graveyard after I was done with mine. And it very much did not do that. All right, so I think with this block here, we put 2 counters on this and we shuffle these Can't Stay Aways back into their deck, huh? Sorry, I just never resolved this card before. I was expecting it to give me 2 prompts. Our deck is again getting to execute its game plan, though. Stickfingers has actually been better than I was expecting in these sets, and we might want a 4th copy of him back in the deck. He's been really good here. He is a thick, thick, thick creature of the dark. If they try and double block Stickfingers here, Otherworldly Gaze flashes back, and man, this card's actually felt playable in here too, which is sweet. We're going to damage? Nah, we're not going to damage yet. I got a Stickfingers to power up, fam. Wait, they're dead, right? They no blocks? And Stickfingers killed them? Oh, yeah! Get him! Give him the old stickaroo, chat! Stickaroo, stickaroo, do-do-do, beep-beep-beep-beep-beep-beep-beep-do-do, do-do-do, do-do-do-do-do-do. Alright, I think we're cutting the Skyclaves, just bringing the power word kills to murder their stuff. I'm glad we kept iterating on this. This is sweet. Did we find a deck in the goo? I think we might have, actually. Go down a Narfi and up a Stickfingers. Yeah, maybe. That doesn't seem unreasonable. Not a bot is... I swear, not a bot, I swear, no, really. Thanks for the 3rd of a year. Welcome back. Your username desperately needs camel casing, not a bot. Or some underscores. Do I like strategy games for computer/console? No, a lot of the non-card games I play are more action-based games. Usually like third-person combat story-driven games. Are we getting back to GRN? You mean, are we getting back to a place where mid-range decks are playable? Yeah, hopefully. Here's hoping. Easy mulligan here. I do think we probably want to cut 1 Snarl and put 1 more land in that brings these in untapped. Look at the counts 1 more time and figure out which one we want to get rid of. Grandress, thanks for the 24 months. Welcome back. I think we bottom the Hermit, keep 3 lands, Ludevic Command. I guess I don't really need 2 green. I get punished if I draw exactly Geist on 1 with this, but it's pretty unlikely, so we'll just play this tapped. I think they should reprint the original paint lands. Yeah, the paint lands are great. And we'll get those on this platform eventually. Because, what's it called? They're in Pioneer, so we'll get them on in here eventually. Thanks for the 23 months, Pseudo Panda. Welcome back. Good morning, good morning. This card is so good, chat. Just like unreasonably so. It's so good. All right, so what are we doing from here? Is it just a Hermit into like end step Gaze? Kind of like Hermit end step Gaze gets set up for next turn. Also gives us the flexibility to counterspell something this turn if they do something we're not content with. Now, I actually really don't like the comparisons to Curse Catcher. One, Curse Catcher is not non-creature spell. Curse Catcher is 1 mana. Curse Catcher doesn't have an activated ability. This really, it's just nothing like Curse Catcher. Go ahead and keep Ludevic alive here because it can attack into 1/1s and this can't. Yeah, I think Glenalendra is the apt comparison. I think that's a very reasonable comparison. This card is good against Jeskai and Historic. Is it good enough? I have no idea. I want Stickfingers or Hermit. I think I want Stickfingers. Oh, I milled them into a Rotten Reunion. That's unfortunate. That card's very good against us. See what to pop off with their Witch here. Yeah, the fact that this mills both players, I think I might want to turn one of these into another Stickfingers. It's probably a decent plan. I probably need to start holding this back on defense. Might want to upkeep this Gaze next turn. Try and work our way into a land. White Splash in the opponent's deck is sweet. They're playing like blue-black Pop-It, but they have Rite of Oblivion and what's it called? They have Rite of Oblivion and the Reanimate spell. Gosh, this could seat my graveyard too. Oh, that grows Willow Geist at least. We got that going for us. All right, I'm willing to trade one of these for their creature land for sure. I think this is a deck that Otherworldly Gaze is playable in. It's felt somewhat reasonable because we're doing so much with it. We like have all these graveyard synergies. What color land do I want? Do I ever need double green? Maybe. Two of the rest already. Alright, so if I don't cast this now, it's going away. Upkeep Gaze again here. Hey, sounds good, Lampton. And maybe we'll try Esper. That's a good point. Want to do this at upkeep? No, I'm gonna draw. We'll see what we get. That was a good get. Okay, so we murder this. Then we get to hold up Quandrix Command. This is a free roll because we get a new Decayed token every turn. Are there any creatures in here for Ludevic to copy? Just Old Stickfingers. Rest got exiled. The Otherworldly Gaze artwork is excellent. You're not wrong. Thanks for the follow, Classy. Afternoon, Spree Heals. Howdy, howdy, Haben. Killing Ludevic. That's fine. I could unsummon him, but like, yeah. Well then. So we're definitely binning Rotten Reunion. The question is, do I want to draw Willow Geist for the next 2 turns? I don't think so. I think I'll definitely take 1. Is it crazy to start pivoting here? We will wait 1 turn before we pivot. Because will Rotten Reunion grow 2 at end of turn, and then Quandrix Command is up the next turn? Like, I'll have another Decayed Zombie this turn, too. The pressure is, if they find a white source for Rite of Oblivion, we get into a little trouble. Honestly, am I supposed to give up growing one of my things to Rotting Reunion? The Rite of Oblivion? Probably, actually. So remember, this is going to give 3 counters to a Willow Geist, potentially. Because we can take a card out of our graveyard and then also put 2 counters on it. So they really have to overblock here if they want to. So these only get 1 counter per batch of cards that leaves the graveyard. 1 or more cards leaves, this gets a counter. It's my, what card would I not mind redrawing here? A Betrayal. Shuffle that in. It is worse than you would expect it to be off the top, yeah. You're so close to lethal there. If this could have been something to take something out of a graveyard. And one of the sweet things is, too, if they manage to kill one of these without exiling it, we gain a bunch of life, right? So, like, even though this is good in terms of, like, them not dying, in terms of racing, they're still pretty far behind in the race. Yeah, this card's super reasonable. There was a Mardu tokens deck that had an okay finish in the Hoaglandia Open. That's on my list of things to play too once we get through viewer decks. So I imagine most of the rest of this week is going to be viewer submissions, but even once we get through those, there's a ton of things I'm interested in trying. Yeah, they were missing white mana for just too long here. I really like where we ended up at with this. It feels like we ended up in a pretty good spot. The blue cards definitely felt like a pretty solid power level increase. Like what this deck was doing when it didn't have, like, the power level of what our deck was doing when we didn't have Willow Geist was much higher here, which was really nice. Quandrix Command was really, honestly, I could see a world where playing the 4th Quandrix Command in the board is good. I think that's something I want. Like, in the matchups where it's good, it's great. Power Word Kill definitely felt good. Masked Vandal was fine. Probably don't need as many Tangletraps because we got some Masked Vandals and Power Word Kills. And then, how about this main deck? I kind of really liked Old Stickfingers. And I kind of found myself wishing we could draw more Rotten Reunions. Like, both of these felt pretty good pretty consistently. I don't know that I want to get rid of this. I might just go down on Skyclaves, actually. Maybe we put Skyclave in the board for the control matchup. Wren's a little expensive anyways. What if we did something like this? Seems pretty okay. I like that this is good. These cards milling us seems pretty important. My feelings on Witherbloom Command. I don't think I'd main deck it, but it seems like a fine sideboard card. There's some miscellaneous, like someone Weather Runestoned us earlier today, so Witherbloom Command's like a fine answer to that. Then the mana base. God, the Snarls are just so bad, chat. They're so bad. How many black sources are we on? Are we on 16 black? Oh yeah, I could totally cut a Necroblossom Snarl, huh? This is how many blue? 12, 15 blue. And go up a forest. The forests are a touch awkward with Ludevic specifically, but you're not always gonna have that one, right? I think you do need some number of Snarls because you just need the fixing from them. It's a real shame we don't have another Innistrad land in this color pairing, but yeah, if you're looking for a kind of sweet deck that ended up like tempo-y and combat tricky, I really like what this is doing. It felt fun. I would expect this is probably a little bit underpowered for the format as a whole, but I think if you run a little bit good, you can play some sweet games. This is definitely something that I'm going to put on my list to potentially revisit at some point in the future. At any rate, I'm going to go ahead and sign off a little bit early today. My throat's feeling a little bit sore. I'm a little congested and sick today, so I'm going to call it a half hour early. Thanks everybody for hanging out. Remember, if you're new and you enjoy the content and you're looking to find more of it, there's a ton up on YouTube. Tomorrow and the rest of the week, we're still going to be doing plenty of Magic, but I am going to be going back to doing variety stuff at the end of the streams for the last couple of hours. So my schedule for the rest of the week is we'll be doing Magic Arena from 8 p.m. to 1 p.m. Central. For people that are bad at time zones, it's currently 2:30 Central. And then this week, we're going to be doing Pokemon Unite, since that's releasing a new content patch and on mobile tomorrow. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we're going to do Pokemon Unite at the end of the streams. And then next week, we're going to start Kenna Bridge of Spirits released this week that looks sweet as our next single-player story-driven game. But plenty of Magic, as always. We're going to be doing at least 5 hours a day, so I will catch you all around tomorrow. Everybody enjoy the rest of your Tuesday wherever you're at in the world, and stay safe, folks.